Welcome to the 12 Report with Blessings Mosugu, and these are the headlines. Now, EFCC puts Kyari's cash on ice. Court freezes accounts linked to former NNPCL boss Mele Kyari. Also, Tokyo ties ignite as Nigeria Foreign Minister Tugar announces $1 billion Nigeria-Japan trade surge at Global Summit. Mali's ex-prime minister goes from power to prison. Former Prime Minister Sagir Rime thrown behind bars over multi-million-dollar theft. We also have our correspondents stationed across the different parts of the nation. We have Umaru Kira who will be joining us from Maiduguri, and of course, Biola Festus from Bayelsa State. We've got the details in a moment. Now to the stories. We begin by telling you that Justice Emeka Nwite on Tuesday ordered the freezing of 4 bank accounts linked to former NLPCL boss Mele Kyari following a motion filed by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. The EFCC is investigating Kyari on allegations including conspiracy, abuse of office, and money laundering. Now, 2 of the frozen accounts are registered under Kyari's name, while the other 2 belong to the Gurori Community Development Foundation, Flood Relief NGO. The court granted the freeze as a preliminary measure pending the outcome of ongoing investigations. This case is adjourned to September 23rd for an update on the matter. Now, President Bola Tinubu has arrived at the Pacifico Yokohama International Conference Center in Japan, where he joined other heads of government for the opening of the 2025 Tokyo International Conference on African Development, also known as TCAD. The high-level summit brings together African leaders, Japanese officials, and global development partners to discuss key issues including investment, security, and climate resilience. President Tinubu's presence underscores Nigeria's commitment to strengthening bilateral ties with Japan and deepening cooperation on Africa's development goals. The conference, organized by the Japanese government and international agencies, is expected to produce new frameworks for partnership and investment across the continent. Nigeria's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Tugar, says that the ongoing Tokyo International Conference on African Development presents a strategic platform for Nigeria and Africa to engage with Japan, the United Nations, the African Union, and the World Bank. Tugar says that Japan has supported Nigeria's development efforts in the past through the provision of infrastructural projects, notably in the power sector, via interventions from the Japan International Cooperation Agency, and through trade in agricultural commodities like shea butter and cassava.
It is first and foremost the Tokyo International Conference for African Development. So it's not just Nigeria, it's the whole of Africa. And it is Japan, it is the United Nations, it is the African Union and the World Bank that got together to create this platform. Now, Japan, as we are aware, is the 3rd largest economy in the world. And they have 2 organs of engaging with Africa. There is JICAD, which is the Japan agency that deals with overseas development assistance. There is JETRO, which is the Japanese organ that deals with trade abroad. And in the case of Nigeria, we have had engagements in the power sector. There's a transmission project going on in Nigeria being supported by this organ. There is also quite a bit of trade that is going on with regards to agricultural commodities, such as shea butter. Of course, some of it is even being processed in Nigeria. And then you also have cassava and we're looking to expand to what we refer to as acha. I can't remember the English word for acha, but there's a high demand of it here in Japan.
Now, residents of the Amata in Bayelsa State have decried the raiding of their community by men of the Nigerian police for second day in a row. The raids by the police follows the killing of an officer by armed hoodlums on Tuesday.
I hear say they shoot somebody. So when I come outside, me sef I follow go see the cops when they lie am there. The next thing na police people come. As police people come, now so they begin scatter things. They scatter the people glasses, then break am. Even motor wey no do them anything sef, then break the motor. My sister house for here. Now so they enter inside, throw tear gas for the house. Now she carry her children them, she don't run.
I'm planning of taking my daughter out of this Amata entirely. And I couldn't go to work, and I don't even know my fate now. I don't even know. I'm still in fear, I'm still in shock, because we don't know. From time to time, the advance have been coming, chasing people.
Do you want to say criminals reside inside the house of God? It's a very unfortunate situation. It's a very, very unprofessional act that has been carried out by the Nigerian police. If you're acting on information, you have to be very precise. It's not about coming to do a random destruction of properties of people that are innocent.
So the police people now break the window and they break the door, enter, drag the man out to carry the man come out. So the daughter now come they cry, say my daddy no do anything. So somebody has come as a policeman come say na my neighbor. They come leave the man. They also destroy my landlord the window when just do.
Now I they talk now my shade too, they scatter am. See my bag now, sell I won't go sell now, no way my things now. It dey spoil for there. So now wetin happen? Then now this house now my sister for here. Her own be say it dey very worse. Now run, she don't run. God say she dey fear. So we dey beg o, more na come help us. If not, we no know wetin go happen for this night. As we see on an eye so we come outside now.
Now, News Central's Biola Festus has been monitoring the developments in Amata, and she joins us now for the latest. Biola, you have been following this story. What is the update at this moment?
Good afternoon, Blessing. We are still here day 2 in Amata community. Day 2 of empty street, day 2 of a deserted community. Now, we did tell you yesterday that the police raided this community. This morning, we got a call. They told us that the police had come again today to do another raid, throwing tear gas canisters into homes and streets. Well, we were hoping to get some persons to speak with us, but the people are so reluctant about talking to the press because they are still in shock. They are still in fear from what happened yesterday. We've been to the house of the community chief who told us that he was arrested by the police yesterday to come give statement or account of what happened. Now, it made us to understand that what happened here is as a result of cultism, that the boys have been on rampage for a long time now, and the height of it had to do with that of the attack on the police personnel. So he said the government needs to pay attention to this community, provide the necessary security to tackle this issue headlong. Now, we also tried to get to the government to know what they are doing about this, because this is a very big community. It's deserted. Just a few people can be seen walking around. This community is deserted. From the entrance to this community, you could barely see people. And shops, of course, have been shut down since yesterday. Today also, I couldn't see any shop open. The few I saw, they locked themselves inside, those who were sewing, and they were sewing right inside their shop, but the doors were not open. Now, we tried to get to the Commissioner for Information in Bayelsa State earlier. I called her, she took the call. I told her that I wanted to find out about the Amata killing incident, and she said, let me call you back in the next 3 minutes. It's been over 45 minutes, and I'm yet to hear from her. We also reached the police headquarters right here in Bayelsa State yesterday. Today, again, we reached out to them through a phone call. What are you doing about this? At least, can you confirm this? But the PPRO said we should wait for an official statement, which they are yet to issue. So this community is still living under fear. The situation here is still speaking tension. And the people have repeatedly said that they cannot sleep with their two eyes closed. Now, we noticed that when we came in here, we saw more of women. And when I asked them, where are the men, where are the guys? They said the target is on the guys. It's on the male folks, especially the young ones. So yesterday they arrested many males from this community. So the people are still expecting further raids from the Nigeria police, because they said this may not be nearing over soon, owing to the fact that the bad boys are still around. Blessing.
All right, Biola Festus, thank you so much for the update, and please do stay safe. In Abuja's Gwagwalada Area Council, a quiet rush for gold is unfolding in farmlands and open spaces. What appears to be a lifeline for desperate residents has raised questions about regulation, safety, and law. News Central's Sagir Rime investigates how some residents in Gwagwalada are turning to the search for gold and precious minerals as a hope for survival.
There seems to be a rush for gold in Gwagwalada Area Council of the FCT. Just beyond the vegetation lies what can best be described as a makeshift mining site where men, women and children, mostly residents of Old Kutunku in Gwagwalada, are scraping, crushing and digging the earth in search of gold. All this is happening without the presence of security agencies or regulatory authorities. The site along Kaida Road in Old Kutunku is only one of several locations where people armed with crude tools converge daily, determined to strike gold and become overnight millionaires.
1 million, 1 million.
Yes.
So now that's going to keep the last.
No, I give up.
Too much now. How much last? You see that for 2,000. You said 2,500. Now it's too much, I bet.
After long hours under the scorching sun, the fortune seekers carried their loot to milling points for extraction. One of such spots, near the Tipa Garage in Gwagwalada, has become a hub for processing, but it is here that the dreams of sudden wealth often collapses. Despite hours of toil and money spent, many miners leave the site with earnings as little as 500 naira. So, what does the law say about such activities? Section 2 of the Nigerian Minerals and Mining Act states all lands in which minerals are found in commercial quantities shall be acquired by the government of the Federation in accordance with the Land Use Act. Further, Section 131A makes it clear that any person who explores mines or quarries minerals outside the provisions of this act commits an offense. In Abuja for News Central, Sagir Rime.
Quite an interesting story there. I'm now joined by Sagir Rime, who has the latest on the development. Sagir, it's an interesting one, and of course, you know, in a country like this one, this is a symbol of hope for Nigerians around that region. What is the update, and what is the veracity of the claim that there even is mineral resources deposited there?
So, by corporate hand, what hope can do to Nigerians who have searched for work to register. So we're going their days with numbers. I mean, which I'm not exaggerating, I say there were up to 200 persons, you know, at that makeshift mining site where people are hoping that maybe they are losing of gold. But yes, first of all, blessing, there's indeed gold because we followed them from the mining side, the makeshift mining side, to the milling point where the stones that are obtained from those sites are crushed, and then the fine dust gathered and the gold dust further extracted. So yes, I would say there's gold, but not in so much quantity. And perhaps this has been the reason that has been failing these individuals, to continue to dig up these areas. Now, if you notice from the visuals, the area is an agrarian community. They are found around those areas, and sadly, we've seen some of these farms badly affected due to the operation of these miners who are searching for gold and then degrading the land in the process.
So, out of curiosity, is there any danger in the residents going there to mine almost every day? Because this story has been on for a while now.
Well, yes, there's quite a number of dangers. First of all, the area is devoid of any kind of security. During my stay there, I spent over 4 hours there. There was not a presence of a single security officer, and obviously so because they were doing so in hiding. In fact, at several points in time when I was taking some shots, they had looked at me with curiosity, and even one had beckoned and said, "I hope you're not forming the army," because this is not the first point that they actually tried mining. There's been several other areas, including one around TCAD, around the SDP area in Gagalaga, that was busted up by men in uniform just recently. But of those areas that are still yet not been identified by the military and of course by security personnel, and this is the reason why these activities are continued to thrive. It is unsafe, especially because even during the milling, as I had observed, I saw traces of mercury as part of what we excavated from this area. And then there is a water source around this particular milling point that are very short parish waters to small communities still within the Gagalaga area. Now, Blessing, you can imagine the impact, especially around environment and health, that it can have on these communities, especially when these minerals, including mercury, is being deposited in that watershed. So it's a complexity of issues, but by and large, these issues are continuing to go on. And the particular milling point around the Tipa Garage area houses quite a number, of milling machines, which seem to show that in fact this did not start very recently.
All right, Sagir Rime, thank you for the update, and I'm hoping that the agencies weigh in on the matter so that it doesn't get out of hand and then people start to attack each other. All right, we're going on a short break now, and when we come back, we've got more stories. So stay with us. Many thanks for staying with us on the 12 report. Now, the Borno State Emergency Management Agency, in collaboration with the German Agency of International Cooperation, has commenced a validation workshop on the 2025 Anticipatory Action Plan framework aimed at strengthening social protection and building economic resilience in northeast Nigeria. Now, the workshop brought together government representatives, humanitarian partners, and community stakeholders to review strategies that will enable early response to disasters and mitigate the impact of humanitarian crises in the region. Now, News Central's Umaru Kira reports that the Borno State Emergency Management Agency officials noted that anticipatory action planning is crucial to reducing vulnerabilities caused by floods, drought, displacement, and conflict, stressing that proactive measures will save lives and livelihoods before emergencies escalate. Representatives of the GIZ reaffirmed this commitment to supporting sustainable social protection systems, enhancing community participation, and fostering long-term resilience among affected populations in the Northeast. Umaru Kira now joins me to bring further update on this. Kirawa, what is the development on this initiative?
Well, the development here is that the Borno State government, in collaboration with GIZ, has come up with an anticipatory action plan with regard to addressing issues of shock, issues of floods, displacement, insurgency, and so on and so forth. But the Director General of the State Emergency Management Agency, Abdullahi Isa, represented by the Director of Admin and Supply, Yagana Ali Abadam, is here with me to tell us more with regard to the development. So, what is it like, this document? How important is it to addressing the issue of floods and so on?
Umaru Kira, if you can hear me, we're struggling to hear her, so maybe you can just let us know what her thoughts are so we can proceed. We can't hear her. Kira, are you there?
Yes, yes.
Please let her know that we can't hear her at this time.
Can you hear me?
Yes, but we can't hear the lady speaking. Yes, I can hear you, Kira, but we can't hear her. So just summarize and then we'll come back to her.
Important is changing from just a reactive response.
All right, we'll come back to Umaru Kira very shortly. I'm hoping that we're able to get the response from the guest that he's trying to speak with. But in the meantime, the Nigerian Bar Association in Kaduna State has accused the military of displacing hundreds of citizens around the Jaji military cantonment in Kaduna State. The NBA says that the recent demolition exercise by the military is unconstitutional and has created a humanitarian crisis which has since affected residents now taking temporary shelters in an internally displaced persons camp. News Central's Emmanuel Bagudu, who has been following the report, tells us more.
The recent demolition exercise around the Jaji military cantonment evoked strong reactions from many across Kaduna State. However, in a show of defiance, the military commander responsible for the cantonment maintains that the military remains undisturbed about public criticism.
The answer is no.
No going back, the commander declares. The exercise has ignited a massive exodus following the eviction of alleged illegal occupants by the military. Many are now expressing their displeasure, the Kaduna State branch of the Nigerian Bar Association following suit.
Personally, we voted for you. Protect the life of Jaji.
The High Court of Kaduna State had, in multiple rulings, 2018, 2019, and 2021, ordered all parties to maintain the status quo ante bellum. The commander's deliberate disobedience of these injunctions constitute contempt of court and dangerous affront of constitutional democracy. As the Supreme Court emphatically held in the military governor of Lagos State against Ojukwu in 1986, no government, authority, military or civilian, is above the law, and no party may resort to self-help in defiance of valid court orders.
News Central set out to confirm the severity of the claims made by the members of the association.
Na fada rijiya na taso yaran suka taso sama da ƙyan na jawo su.
An rushe mana gidaje, ba mu da gurin zama, ba mu da gurin kwana. Ka yara ni kwana na biyu ma ban haɗu da mijina ba.
Many of the communities are now totally leveled, with residents counting losses.
Like now, I'm asked to come and pay transporters 2.5. Where will I have 2.5 million to transport myself back home? For no reason, somebody will just come and level your house. Right from the time of Yakowa, when he said he's aware, say they will have money.
Want you people to be scared. That was why they did what they did. Go to all the IDP camps that the army has created.
With the military maintaining that they have acted within their right, there are some who say it is not yet over, as they have vowed to get justice for the displaced communities. In Jaji, Kaduna State, for News Central, Emmanuel Bagudu.
And now, good news. The federal government says it has subsidized the cost of kidney dialysis in 10 federal hospitals across Nigeria, reducing the average price of a single session from 50,000 naira to 12,000. The new policy, approved by President Bola Tinubu, was announced by his special advisor on policy communication, Daniel Bola, who says it will bring immediate financial relief to kidney patients. But the question remains, when will it be implemented across these health facilities? Our correspondent Sarah Aiku joins us live from one of the federal medical centers here in Lagos. Now, Sarah, as we understand, there is a myriad of kidney issues, so this definitely is good news for the thousands of patients who have to go through dialysis and have to pay that amount of money every day. But one question that people have been asking is about implementation. When is there a timeline for implementation?
So when the special advisor to the president on policy communication went to Twitter to talk about this subsidy. That's the kidney dialysis subsidy. It got a lot of reactions, most a bit negative for the special advisor. And so that's why we came to one of the federal medical centers, which is one of the 10 medical centers across Nigeria that would be offering this subsidy. Just to confirm really if that subsidy has been implemented. I know that the policy that the special advisor had tried to explain why there could be a delay, because most of the people who had responded to that tweet had said that they were still paying a lot of money for dialysis per session. And this particular subsidy, which is from the 50,000 naira to the 12,000 naira subsidy, is for one session. So that means that if there's a patient that has to go through dialysis treatment, it's going to be paying about 104.
All right, there seems to be a glitch there in the connection, but we're hoping that we can reestablish connection with Sarah to find out, because we really want to know what the situation in the federal hospital where she currently is. Now, human rights activist Osita Obi is demanding a 25 million naira compensation from the Catholic Diocese of Awka over the alleged forceful eviction of his wife from a church-owned property. Obi claims that police operatives and the chancellor of the diocese supervised the destruction of his family's property. He described the church actions as pure wickedness and compares the diocese to the Boko Haram terrorist organization. According to him, properties worth about 5 million naira were destroyed, and insisted he would pursue legal action if his demands for an apology and compensation are not met. However, Reverend Dr. Charles Ndubisi, the chancellor at the Awka Diocese, denies the church's involvement in the destruction, insisting that the eviction was carried out by court bailiffs and police. We'll definitely discuss more with Osita Obi when we come back. But in the meantime, we go on another short break. It's still the 12 report. Stay with us. The 12 report now. The Anambra State Police Command has strongly condemned the violent assault on National Youth Service Corps member Jennifer Elobor by local security operatives of the Agune Chamber Vigilante Group. The operatives reportedly stormed the NYC Lodge in Oba, accusing Elobor and others of fraud, then beat and stripped her despite her showing identification. Police spokesperson Tochukwu Ikenga acknowledged Elobor's dissatisfaction with initial complaint handling but assured of commitment to justice once she meets the authorities. Now, in the meantime, the Anambra State government has confirmed the arrest and the detention of the vigilantes involved and pledged further action to protect residents and uphold law enforcement standards.
State Police Command is aware of a trending video of where a corps member was assaulted in Oba community of Idemili South local government. We wish to condemn this act and say it's totally unacceptable and very, very unprofessional of the vigilante operatives. However, the command wants to state some facts clear that this video is not a recent development of the command. It happened sometime last month, and I am aware that there has been investigative proceedings that have been going on in that regard. The command also wished to state that the unavailability of the victim have further stalled the investigative proceedings, because I personally have contact with her, but she said that as soon as she comes into the state, that she will come to the command. While we are waiting for her to come forward to assist us in some of the facts that are clear, I wish to also let the members of the public know that the suspects involved in this particular unprofessional and condemnable act has been identified. And we are also working with the leadership of the vigilante group to make sure that we get justice for this victim. Having said that, I wish to also acknowledge the fact that these vigilante operatives have assisted us in making sure that the stability of the security in the state has been very, very formidable. Let me state another fundamental fact that is very key to this. The Commissioner of Police in the person of CP Ikoyi Orutugu, when he took over as the Commissioner of Police, noted the fact that these vigilante members needed to be trained. And he wrote to the Inspector General of Police, and the Inspector General of Police graciously approved this training and reorientation for these vigilante members. And they were trained. And we are also working with the stakeholders, the leadership of these vigilante members, to make sure that we get justice for these core member. And we wish to also state that assault of any kind is a criminal offense, and the command will not condone it, and we condemn it and make sure that this incident does not happen again. As the operations of the vigilante members are now embellished, we're working with the security operatives in the state to make sure that such incident doesn't happen again.
All right, that's on the angle of building security resilience, but we'll also talk about building economic resilience. We'll go back to the story of the Borno State Emergency Management Agency in collaboration with German Agency for International Cooperation, where they've commenced a validation workshop on the 2025 Anticipatory Action Plan framework that aims to build economic resilience. And we still have News Central's Umaru Kira, who started giving us the update on that. And I'm hoping that he still has the guest to speak with us. So Umaru, over to you. What's the update on the workshop?
The Borno State government, in collaboration with GIZ, developed an action plan to address issues of flood, displacement, insurgency, and so on and so forth. It's a sort of a paradigm shift from reactionary measures to preventive, but to give more light to the documents and, of course, what the government intends to do. We have the representative of the Director General of SEMA, who will tell us more to that, what they intend.
Good afternoon, fellow listeners. This document is organized by GIZ is very much important, and it comes at the right time. So the document is composed. We are shifting from reactive response, emergency response, to proactive anticipatory action plan, which is mitigating the impact of most various shocks like conflicts, floods, the breakout of diseases. So this plan, it will have most of the stakeholders to come together, because this plan was organized not only by GIZ or SEMA, but it's a collective effort of all the stakeholders.
And to add more, because it's sort of a multi-stakeholder engagement, we have the Director General of the Great Green Wall of Borno State, who will tell us more with regard to his own contribution.
Yeah, good morning, good afternoon all. I'm the DG Borno State Agency for Great Green Wall. This is, as just Kirawa said, is a paradigm shift from what we used to do before, anticipate or maybe expecting when disaster, shock is going to happen. You can believe me that climate change is real, and it causes numerous disaster, emergency, and so on and so forth. So this is a paradigm shift.
All right, Umaru Kira, if you can hear me, I think that would have to come back to you shortly.
We are going to carry out whenever emergency occur, or disaster occur, or even other emergencies as a result of issue of climate change, desertification, global warming, and so on and so forth. So this is a good one. The GIZ and SEMA is bringing multi-sectoral agencies and other partners so that we can see how we can act well when it comes to disaster. It can be drought, it can be flooding, it can be even disease outbreak.
Okay, talking about your own contribution as an agency, what will you bring to the table, particularly with regard to preventive measures?
Yeah, it's just to take a giant step in even mitigating the occurrence of flooding, disease outbreak, drought, and so on and so forth. So the agency is not looking at or expecting those disasters to happen, rather than to mitigate them for future occurrence. So these are majorly the agency is doing to mitigate the impact, causes of flooding and the climate change related issues.
Okay, when you say mitigation, do you mean planting of trees, or what do you mean by mitigation?
Mitigation, not only planting of trees, creating awareness of which one of the aspects.
All right, tomorrow, if you can hear me, we need to move on. All right, there you have it on the initiative. We go on a short break now. It's still the 12 report. When we come back, we've got more stories. Do stay with us. Now let's take a look at some business updates. President Bola Tinubu has permanently removed the 5% excise duty on telecommunications services, according to the Nigerian Communications Commission, the NCC. Executive Vice Chairman Aminu Maida confirmed the tax has been completely scrapped under the new laws, after initially being suspended in July 2023 to ease burdens on businesses and households. The tax faced renewed debate in October 2024 when the National Assembly proposed reinstating it alongside levies on gaming and betting. However, strong opposition from telecom operators who argued it will worsen costs and disrupt services prompted Tinubu's final decision to abolish it. Now, still in business, Nigeria's manufacturing sector paid an unprecedented 803.5 billion naira in VAT in 2024. Now, this is the highest in 5 years, even as output plunged to a 15-year low of $25.4 billion, more than halving from 2023. The paradox reflects rising input costs, foreign exchange volatility, soaring energy prices, and weak infrastructure, while manufacturers shoulder heavier taxes. Productivity, competitiveness, and jobs continue to shrink. Analysts describe the sector as unhealthy, warning of long-term risks of reform stall. A steadier naira and moderating inflation in 2025 could, however, offer a glimmer of relief. Now, in preparation for the forthcoming News Central Town Hall series in the country's Middle Belt region, News Central's managing director and editor, Kayode Akintemi, has met with the General Office Commanding 3 Division and Commander of Operation Safe Haven Major, General Folusho Oyinlola, in Jos, the Plateau State capital. News Central's MD praised the successes of the GOC and his men so far, while also speaking to them to fish out the bad eggs in the system. He also formally invited the GOC to the forthcoming town hall. Now, on his part, the GOC commended News Central for its unbiased reportage and praised the team based on Plateau for the job done so far. He assured of continued cordial relationship between the army and the media.
MD of News Central, Mr. Kayode Akintemi, and members of his team, I wish to welcome you to Headquarters 3 Division for this very, very auspicious visit. Your visit is deeply appreciated, and it underscores the critical importance of military-media collaboration in defense of our nation and in internal security. So your presence here today is a testament to our shared resolve to ensure the security of lives and property within our joint operating environment. This partnership is vital for informing and enlightening the public about the tireless efforts of our security agencies. I want to assure you that Headquarters 3 Division and indeed Operation Safe Haven remains a pivotal formation charged with maintaining peace and security across our area of responsibility. Our troops are unwavering in their commitment to protecting citizens, deterring threats, and supporting the civil authorities.
We want to make an appeal during tomorrow, but I'm making that right here, that some of the people that we have spoken with, it is our job as the 4th estate of the realm to make sure that we have our finger on the pulse of the nation. This is what I have instilled in all members of my staff at News Central. I'm about to mention Channels Television because I used to be the general manager of Channels Television for 5 years. And in those 5 years, from 2011 to 2016, we changed a lot of things in terms of the way news is covered and presented. Being an executive director of Arise News, practically acting almost like the MD, and running things and making sure that the setting of the stories and analysis of it, that too, it changed during my tenure. And now as the MD of News Central, I'm saying I don't want to do what I've done in the past. So we're changing things in terms of the kind of stories we cover and how we tell the stories, as well as making sure that that which we see as a big gap on the side of the media, that we feel and step into that gap. The gap that we see is that the communities in Nigeria don't have their voices covered. Here is what the average politician in Nigeria will say, that every story that you hear or read about in the media is going to end up like the newspaper, and they will use it to wrap a car the next day. So that means that story is gone. And then they move on to the next, and to the next, and to the next. But as News Central Television.
Now let's go to the stories outside of Nigeria. Still in West Africa though, Mali former Prime Minister Sagir Rime has been charged with embezzlement of public funds and remanded in custody by the country's Supreme Court. Maida, dismissed last November after publicly criticizing the military junta, faces accusations involving money laundering of several $1 million. No trial date has been set just yet. His arrest follows a recent crackdown by the junta after an alleged coup plot within the army. Now, several of Maida's former colleagues also appeared before the court, with some facing charges while others were acquitted. Since back-to-back military coup in 2020 and 2021, Mali has experienced ongoing jihadist violence and political instability, with the junta tightening control and extending President Assimi Goita's mandate without elections. And now we leave you with a moment of quiet majesty from East Africa. Forget sports cars. Uganda's Ankole cattle are redefining elegance on four hooves. The Kiabinuga, southern Uganda, a peaceful herd of Ankole cattle, was recently caught on film, showing off what might be the most impressive parade of horns in the animal kingdom. These cattle native to East Africa are known not just for their size, but for the cultural pride that they carry. With horns that can span up to 8 feet wide, they are more than livestock. They are a living emblem of beauty and heritage for the Bahima and Banyankole communities. And in a region often covered for politics or conflict, sometimes it's the quiet things that remind us why the land still matters. Well, that said, in sports, former Super Eagles striker Brown Ideye has called time on his career, bringing an end to 19 years of football across Europe, Asia, and Africa. Now, he was part of Nigeria's 2013 AFCON winning squad with 27 caps and 6 goals. Let's quickly hear from Favor Itua. Favor, are you ready for us?
Yes, blessings. An illustrious career for Brown Ideye. I mean, one that spanned 19 years, winning an AFCON trophy since 2013. We're yet to win. And he just recently quit time in his career. We're looking forward to, what he does after that, but many more on In the Game.
All right, thank you very much. Well, you've heard it. Stay tuned on In the Game for more of this. And do well to send us your eyewitness report, because we want to see what you see. And also you can follow us across all socials. We are at News Central TV, and you can watch us live on DSTV at 422. You can also watch us on GoTV channel 23, Avo TV, Star Times channel 274, and live on YouTube. Many thanks for watching. I'm Blessings Musugu.